Hello everyone. We'll talk about strategy as an organizational process in this presentation. Why? What we are talking into it? Why does an organization exist first and foremost? Does it need to be planned? Does it need to be structured? What is your position as far as your organization is concerned, and how does the an organization functions? How does it plays its role? I'll give you a generalistic view altogether of an organizational process and the strategies thereof. So why does an organization exist? What are the structures? How do you plan it? What is your role probably, and how does it functions effectively? Allow me to discuss about the organizational process. It's a set of an action that are logically sequenced. You are not doing actions as on when on basis, on a random basis probably. It's always logically sequenced. So one follows the other and it has a bigger than the desired impact. For example, organization have goals they want to achieve by creating product, by creating services that can be done in a logical sequences. Let me give you the component of the sequences in the next slide. What are they? I need to have a vision, I need to have a mission, I need to have a business definition. That's the foremost thing before an organization sets its ball rolling. Once you have defined your vision, mission, and business definition, we'll start working with either of the strategies or the structure. Usually, it is a strategy if there is a non existent organization. Once the strategy has to be started to be implemented, you require people to man those strategies, people to effectively execute those decisions that has been done. So we require a structure which needs to be reported, documented in a systematic fashion, the systems, and this has to be the process that we go on working around it. Each process has a number of tasks and each task is all about your activities. This is the job of the incumbent. So yes, we have the vision, we have strategies, structures, system, process, jobs, tasks, which percolates to activities too. As an organizational process sequences, if you want to depict it pictographically, you see how it leads whatever I stated around here. From mission vision, it moves to the corporate business or functional strategy. The either way around. If it is for the first time, it can be corporate. If it is on a it is already existing and you have a lot many business units spread over the country or across the globe, you have business, and then it can be functional. It can be functional with relate to finance, operation, technological, research and development, supply chain. So we have strategies differently. Then as all we are talking about the structure, be it tall, with flat, with adocracy, as a case might be. As far as system is concerned, we have a lot of simple, complex, open, closed system, whichever suits an organization. Process, planning and organization, staffing, directing, leading, controlling is what we are looking into it. Yes, this is what a person does as a job, the task, and which comes with an output or the outcome for which the organization is in existence. What is the mission? Before we go to mission, we should talk about a vision. Vision is the goal. Is what inspires us, which what motivates us, is what overarchingly and into a long term. It represents a destination that is driven by an evoked passion. A vision may or may not succeed. It depends on whether everything else happens according to the firm strategy. A vision statement is a formal statement of whatever business it wants to be. We'll talk about the vision. Look what is American Express, the most respected service brand in the world, is what the vision statement is of American Express. It wants us to be a benchmark as far as the service brand is concerned, the most respected brand ever. Now that's the vision statement for American Express. For an organizational process, what is the vision? How do we make a vision? So whatever business you are in, whichever industry you are in, where do you want to find yourself? A vision should have four parts, as far as Collins and Porras said: the core values, the core purpose, the bhag, the big, hairy, audacious goal is what we are looking into it. Vivid description, the bhag, big, hairy, audacious goals is what we are talking about. Core values, core purpose, the bhag, the vivid description. Remember, Every time I said Bhag, it's the big, hairy, audacious goal. If you have a goal, if you state it out to a normal person, the person might fall into a screams of laughter. Why? Because those were the atrocious goals that we're talking about it. Yes, we talk about the core values. Core values are those things that which are very close to your heart, that you will not give up at any cost. It can be integrity or quality. Usually, all companies have approximately a half a dozen core values minimum. Core purpose is what you achieve, you want to achieve within a framework of your core values. Absolutely, yes. First and foremost thing is to define those core values, which you believe, which you espouse upon it. Usually companies have approximately 4 to 6 core values. Core purpose is whatever you can achieve within those core values. It gives achievement orientation to the businesses altogether. So if you want to give it unethical practices, be away from unethical practices, what all things can you be achieved? The bhag, this is about having a goal which qualifies the purpose. Bhag should be very big, yet specific. Your chances of attaining the should be more than 75. Big, hairy, audacious goals. Remember Bhag, that atrocious goal that a company sets for itself. Vivid description, it should be simple, it should be understandable even by a layman. It can be understood by your grandmother as far as a 12-year child. This was all about vision. Now let me give on a direction what should be the mission around here. Mission is a purpose for the company to exist in the very first case. It is always defined from a point of view of a customer. It explains what a company wants to do for the customers and for other stakeholders, public, government, suppliers, employees. What else the company can do it, achieve in its vision easily. That is what is required absolutely to be understood here and then, now and ever. Mission statement definition, a sentence describing a company's function, markets, competitive advantages. A short written statement of your business goals, your philosophies. It explains what a company intend to do to achieve what it wants to be. Absolutely, yes. This is what companies function, market, competitive advantages are all about it. How will it achieve it? It has been stated out there. Mission statement defines the organization purpose, the primary objective. These statements are set in present tense and never in a past tense and never in the future tense. They explain why you exist in the first case as a business, both to the member of an organization, to the people outside the organization. Statement tend to be short, clear, and powerful. Allow me to quote what Twitter was supposed to say, to instantly connect with people everywhere to what's most important to them. Twitter, as the case might be. What does Nike says around it? To bring the inspirations and the innovations to every athlete in the world. That's what Nike is all about. It. See the brand name and what it goes around it. We'll talk about the strategies as far as organizational processes concerned. Strategies means the grand plan. The term is borrowed from the military, which is distinguished between a grand plan and the actual action by calling the former strategy, the latter as a tactics. Strategy can be divided into three: corporate strategy, business strategy, functional strategies. An organization is structured at three levels as follows. The corporate level are the board of directors, chief executive officers, absolutely the top level of the company we are talking about it. But the business level is the SBU, located at location A, B, and C, probably. Absolutely, that's the business unit level one, business level unit 2, business unit 3. There's nothing called level around here. And functional strategies are marketing, finance, operation, and different business levels altogether. So, mastering your enterprise strategy, and how do we go across with it? Strategy is a unique set of techniques for understanding and influencing your company's position. This is what corporate strategy is all about it. Business that you should be in. Enterprise strategy is concerned with the match between a company's internal and external environment. This is the tactics that goes around it. The business tactics that comes around it. Internal and external. You have to have the talent to mitigate the threats in the external environment, which is all about functional strategies, operational method to implement the tactics thereby. And that is what we are looking for, the big, hairy, audacious goals, if I may say so. Structures follow the strategy. Question remains, should structure follow the strategy or should strategy follow the structure? I don't know, but you decide upon it. In small organization, I would love to give structure should be simple. The structure would comprises only a few departmental heads and so on and so forth. In big organization, it will be divided between different departments such as finance, market, production, HR. Each department will have a head or people manning the show, a rule for communication. Three basic pillars in which business are called the structure. That this is what the structures is all about it. Structures can be simple, absolutely in a small organization. Hierarchical might be in a tall and a flat organization, as in who to report who, as in everybody should in a line of contact or communication. Adhocracy is structures of future where information flows takes place in every direction, every possible direction, enabling the organization to take the advantages of the opportunity as never before. That is what adhocracy is all about it. The next one would be the matrix, which report to the local in charge, as well the in charges of a department of head office HO used by multinational companies. That's the matrix organization that we go around it. Here is the pictographical representation of a tall structure for organization A and a flat structure for organization B. You look, there's in a flat structure, you just everybody is reporting to that one fellow gentleman or the lady out there. So you have a right access to everyone, but the same gentleman or the lady might have to be percolated, and people are not supposed to supersede the other bosses, big boss, in a tall structure. Matrix organization, here is the replica where we have the for a product A, for a vice president finance, for a product A, you have a engineering department. So you can have the employees who are manning these positions. See, for example, this, or let's say this person would be reporting to the marketing of vice president and is also responsible for product C manager. So this is a vertical change of command, where this is a horizontal chain of command for product. So everybody is reporting to at least two bosses. And believe me, I'm just giving you a very simple structures as far as matrix is concerned. Matrix, there might be people who might be reporting to three, four bosses or three, four department already with a lot of responsibility assigned along with it. That is where we come with adhocracy. Now you look into adhocracy, here is a shared model. Like it might be a research and development team or the firm that goes around it. You have the shared model. Let's say company A design the joints of a furniture, joints of your bone, you name it and you can have it. Company B designs the component as to how the joint will function, what kind of multifunctional abilities that requires, be it your bones and or be it a furniture. Joint C designs the frame around it, what needs to be done. Had it been a furniture, what kind of tissues that needs to be go around it. Miss D design other components, absolutely, probably with the patient or with the customers. Mr. E design the connection, putting in across what are the requirement, what are the commercial transactions that needs to be taken to a customer. F puts everything together. Now this is how the business would be running around here. So I'm talking about from a medical company or a hospital, perhaps a research and development hospital, or even a furniture company which can go goes around it. But everybody works toward the insurity of the profitability of the firm. So organization functions in terms of system. The system is the way how we function as a group, create a logical order, often organizing the flow of information, resources, and let it run almost by itself on an automatic mode, if we may say so. Each system is independent as well as interdependent. For example, marketing system is dependent upon the human resource system to get people, but at the same time act independently. So you need to understand this thing. Marketing people system wants to make maximum number of sales, but if we don't have an adequate manpower, where it has to depend on the HR fellows. The HR people would get manpower. Now we have to need to understand either this manpower would be raw material or qualified material. In case if it is raw material, the marketing has to train them, groom them. If it is a perfectly well loyal professional person who are joining, probably the marketing people can always entrust it upon to doing a wonderful success. But then whose success is it? Is it the HR success or the marketing people's success? This is what the organization follows. System needs to be followed around it. It is easier to think in terms of human body system consisting of cardiovascular system, digestive system. Cardiovascular system is fairly independent, your heart. How does it pump good? But it is dependent on system for energy. Unless your intestine is processing the food and providing you the energy, the cardiovascular system cannot run. In business also, we have the system as HR, operation, finance, marketing. In fact, nowadays most system are added. Let's say supply chain, international marketing. Organization process system can be simple, can be complex, can be open, can be closed, you name it, and we have it. And every system had its own merits. Believe me or not, every system is successful. Typically, every system would have an input, raw material, resources, throughput is your processing time, the way it is mixed, connected, you're producing certain thing, and output, the final or the interim product that comes around it. So we have an input, throughput, and an output as the case might be. Allow me to ponder over the management functions of how it produces as our strategies goes around it. Process is said to be logical activities. That leads to a final or interim output. For example, to manufacture something, you need to have provide services that are logically sequenced. For example, to manufacture something, it should be planned, resources should be coordinated, sufficient manpower should be provided. Thus, as business level, some people do come into play. Organizational processes, these are called management function as planning, organization, staffing, directing, leading, controlling, and you name it, we have it. The organizational process goes on and on and on. You have those controlling. If things are coming in your favor, the results are in your favor, well and good. If it is not in your favor, go back to the planning stage. Even if it is in your favor, can you improve upon the experiences, the product, the quality, and so on and so forth. So yes, an organization runs through people, and every person is supposed to do their job correctly. So each process is made up of several jobs. A job is a similar set of activities. For example, the job of a teacher involves a task of preparing for the class, teaching, making question paper, correcting papers, giving feedback to the student. So a job is a cluster of similar tasks. The size of this cluster depends on the capacity of a person. For example, in a small school, a teacher may do all the job, but it is university that many people will do one at a time. What about the task or the activities? Basic unit of an organization is an activity. In a big organization, a person might be performing only one task. For example, in accounts department, accountant will be handling only the accounts receivable. Another may handle payable. The third person might be doing reconciliation as far as accounting is concerned. But in a small activities, a small organization, it might not be the same thing. It might be a person who is doing not only account receivable, payable, and reconciliation. So the activity needs to be performed as a task. Allow me to give you the better understanding of a business. If you understand the serial effect of organizational study, you will be able to appreciate that when you try to solve organization problem, you'll be able to do it at appropriate level. If you have a system problem, solve it at that level. Don't try to fix the structure. If you solve at a higher level than needed, then you will be wasting resources, as you will have to adjust to the lower level tools. If you solve at a lower level, the problem persists, as the issue will not be completely addressed. So you need to understand wherever the problem arises, you need to knock that problem then and there. You need not allow the problem to grow, because at the lower level it goes to a bigger level. At a higher level, if you don't want to address it, you will only ensure that there is a fallacy that is coming into your lower level of the organization. So wherever there's a problem, please direct your energies to solve that problem appropriately at that position itself. In a fast changing world, a manager should understand the above in order to pitch the change at an appropriate level. With these words, I would love to wind up this presentation, this video. Thank you for watching it for so long. Thank you very much.